Good morning. Today I am going to discuss about fuels. First introduction. A fuel is a combustible substance containing carbon as the main constituent which on burning gives large amount of the heat. During the process of combustion, the atoms of carbon and hydrogen combined with the oxygen with the simultaneous liberation of heat. In this reaction, carbon combined with the oxygen to form carbon dioxide plus 94 kilocalories heat. Second reaction, hydrogen combined with oxygen to form water molecule plus 68.5 kilocalories. These 94 and 68.5 kilocalories are calorific value. The main source of fuel is coal and crude oil. That means crude petroleum oil. These are stored in the earth crust in the form of fossil fuels. Then next one, characteristics or requirements of a good fuel. It should be cheap and readily available. Second point, it should be safe and economical for storage and transport. Third one, it should not undergo spontaneous combustion. Next one, it should have higher calorific value. Then next one, it should have moderate ignition temperature. Next one, the combustion should be easily controllable. Next one, it should have low moisture content because the moisture content reduces the calorific value. Next one, the products of combustion should not be harmful. Next one, it should have low combustible, non-combustible matter or ash content. These are the main characteristics of the good fuels. Then classification of the fuels. Fuels are classified based on the occurrence and physical state. Based on the occurrence, it can be classified into two categories. One is primary fuel and the one is secondary fuels. Primary fuels means it occurs in the nature as such. Example, coal, petroleum, natural gas. Secondary fuel, it is derived from primary fuels. Example, coke, gasoline, coal gas. Gasoline means petrol. Then based on their physical state, the fuels can be classified into three categories. One is solid fuel, another one is liquid fuel, third one is gaseous fuel. Solid fuel example is coal and coke. Liquid fuels example is gasoline and diesel. Gaseous fuel example is coal gas, natural gas, water gas, producer gas. This is a flow chart for the classification of the fuels. First primary and secondary fuels. Then primary fuels can be classified into three categories based on their physical state. Solid fuel, liquid fuel, gaseous fuel. Similarly, natural artificial fuels or secondary fuels also classified into three categories based on their physical state. Next, comparison of solid, liquid and gaseous fuels. First one is property, calorific value property. In the form of the solid fuel, due to ash and moisture content, calorific value is low. In the form of the liquid fuels, higher calorific value than solid fuels. In the case of the gaseous fuel, highest calorific value than solid and liquid fuels. Then second property is combustion. In the solid fuels, combustion process is slow process. In the liquid fuels, combustion process is quick process. In the gaseous fuels, combustion process is the rapid process. Next one, control of combustion. In the solid fuels, cannot be controlled easily. But in the case of the liquid fuels, can be controlled when required. Gaseous fuels can be controlled by controlling air supply. The next property, air requirements. In the solid fuels burn in large excess of air. Liquid fuels burn in slight excess of air. Gaseous fuels burn in slight excess of air. Thermal efficiency property in the solid fuels is a very least value. In the form of the liquid fuels and gaseous fuels, thermal efficiency value is high. In IC engine, cannot be used in IC engine. Can be used in IC engine, can be used in IC engine. So, solid fuels cannot be used in the internal combustion engine. But in the liquid fuels and gaseous fuels are used in IC engines. Then handling cost is solid fuel more cost, liquid fuels lesser cost, then gaseous fuels also lesser cost. Ignition temperature, in the solid fuels highest ignition temperature, liquid fuels moderate ignition temperature, gaseous fuels low ignition temperature. Then cost of production, solid fuel low cost, liquid fuels and gaseous fuels high cost. Then pollution, solid fuels releases a large amount of the smoke, dust, so it can be easily produces the air pollution. But in the liquid fuels and gaseous fuels, clean and free from dust and some of the minute particles. Then fire hazards, solid fuels least risk, liquid fuels greater risk, gaseous fuels highest inflammable greater risk. Thank you.